We should be live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final Tribal Council of Survivor Rant. These three, Dan, Peyton, Nikki, you have made it as far as you can in this game. And here, as you know, your power now does shift to the jury, the 8 people which you voted out throughout this merge. And we are going to go ahead. You had your opening statements sent to them already, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So, the first lovely juror that we have here is the first member of our jury. So, Jenny, go ahead and take it away. Your 7 minutes starts when you start talking.
Hi guys, remember me? It's the lovely, beautiful Queen of the Street Corner. First of all, congratulations for making it to the end. Y'all busted your asses and deserve it. And fuck y'all for making our decisions hard. But I wanted to say that none of our votes are guaranteed. So if y'all think you have so-and-so's votes locked down, you're wrong. But my first question, and y'all can decide how you want to answer, is I want to know, what is the biggest lie you told this season?
I mean, I can go first if you want. The biggest lie I think I told this season was that actually impacted a lot of the game was lying to Molly when I wasn't voting her out. And then we did. The blind side of Molly was probably my biggest lie. And yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay.
I can go next. I feel like the biggest lie I told all season was, I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything yet. What have you heard?
That's fair.
To get information from people. I kind of always knew where the vote was going. So I don't know. I haven't heard. What have you heard is the lie that I've told all season.
That's totally fair.
I hate to copy off this, but I'd say probably mine was also telling Molly, because right before that tribal, I saw with Molly telling her it's going to be great. We're going to be final 8, like great deserving final 8. But I knew on the side that I was going to be blindsiding her that vote, which really hurt. So I feel like that also impacted the game a lot after that point. I will say too, my biggest lie was telling Molly I was not voting her.
And I also would like to stress, like, with that Molly vote, like, we were very concerned about an idol, which then ended up being true. So, you know, it's sometimes you have to do things in this game that are shitty. You know, you have to own up to it.
Okay, and my second and final question is if you three were forced to trade places with any person on the jury, who would it be and why?
Go ahead, Faye. Go ahead.
I say I go first as I answer the last one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a hard question because like a lot of great players, but I got to go with the person who just fell short with Ava. Ava played a great social game. She battled a lot of this game and she did really well in a lot of the challenges. She absolutely just crushed that music video Final 5 challenge. And like she battled with me in the end in that Final 4 challenge. And I knew that my goal was to get her to win that, so she could not get that into the final 3 because I knew she'd have a strong chance of winning. So I definitely say Ava definitely has a great chance of being here if one of us wasn't.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna piggyback off of Ava too, because Ava, like, we were all scared of you, right? Like, none of us wanted you to get here. So that being said, obviously that means like you deserve to be sitting up here, and it's so shitty that you're not.
So I'll take a bit of a different approach. Ava, you're a friend to me outside this game. Don't let that influence the vote in the game. And you would have been very deserving to sit at the end. But I think the hardest vote out was, even though I didn't vote Andy, we got him voted out. And at that point, there was so much chaos going on, I couldn't trust my gut, or I had to trust my gut and kind of just let it fall how it would. So Andy would be my answer.
Okay. That's all I have. Best of luck to you guys, and may the best person win.
Thanks, Jenny.
All right, and with about 3 minutes to spare, so we're doing good on time. All right, next up is someone you just talked about, the queen, one of these most social legends in the org community we have, Miss Molly.
Hi guys. First of all, I want to congratulate all three of you. You guys all played amazing. I'm so proud of you guys. And there's no hard feelings on anything. I said it on my way out. I meant it. No hard feelings. But I guess I kind of have the same question for all of you. Just out of curiosity, like whose idea was it to vote me out? How did it like conspire? Who had the biggest hand in it? Because that means a lot. Who snaked me the hardest? Kind of just compete to see who snaked me the hardest, I guess. And I don't know if that's even a question that makes sense, but do with it what you will.
I feel like I can and should take this because I feel like it was my idea. But that's because I had information coming in from every single side. And Jenny's vote out came either, from my perspective, either from you or Ava, with Steven attached to it, which meant that I didn't feel like I had the three of you as close. I know that we had our chats and everything like that, but I felt like I had Andy, Nikki, and Peyton and Kevin closer to me, right? So if we let the numbers get down, then that was a risky situation for my game because I felt like I had been playing a relatively dominant game. And you are very smart and would recognize that and could launch a counterattack against me. So and correct me if I'm wrong, Nikki or Peyton, but I think I was the one who brought that up to y'all first, and said like Molly and Ava and Steven are a thing. We have to focus on that.
Yeah, I can agree that.
Oh, you just muted
You're
yourself.
on mute, Nikki.
Do that vote just because I feel like Molly, you and I were like so close in our original tribe. But I saw the reason behind it, so I was a reluctant participant in that vote.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and Dan was the one who told me about the vote being leaning towards you, and I agreed with it because I felt like it was a big move to make at that time, especially with how big of a social player Molly, and I just felt like it was the right move to do.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate a good move. So yeah, I guess that's all I really had to that I wanted to know. Congratulations again, you guys all rock. Kick ass tonight, and be proud of yourselves. So yeah, that's all I got. Love
Molly.
y'all.
Love you, Molly.
All right, thank you so much, Molly. Appreciated that. Let me just get the list up. Next up, we have two individuals, the fanatics of Cherry Coke Zero, Miss Megan Farrell and her sidekick Chompy.
Yep. All three of you, forget about it. Y'all voted me out. No, I'm just kidding. Life blew up in my face. Wish I could have played with you more because I'd probably be sitting where one of you are. So again, just got you to laugh. You're welcome. That's what I'm here for. All right. So let's get down to business. Let's see. Well, my vote's already secure because one of you, and you know who it is, sent me the most on Venmo. So we're good. Again, no. These get so tense. Just like you're welcome for the comedic relief. All right, so what I'm gonna ask you to do is actually close your eyes, and I'm gonna, just kind of, go through and be like, oh, hey, at this point now, just based on everything you've done, your speeches, your couple of questions have already done, if you think you have somebody's vote. Again, my Venmo is open for a vote. I'm just joking. But so I'm just gonna go through everybody here. So if you can close your eyes for me, no peeking. All right. Raise your hand if you think you have Jenny's vote. Okay. All right. Raise your hand if you think you have my vote. Interesting. Okay. I'm not going to confirm nor deny that. Raise your hand if you think you have Molly's vote. Okie dokie. Perfect. Raise your hand if you think you have Steven's vote. Okay. Or raise your hand if you think you have Zach's vote. Okie dokie. Raise your hand if you think you have Andy's vote. Okie dokie. Raise your hand if you think you have Kevin's vote. Okay. And raise your hand if you think you have Ava's vote. Alrighty. Well, you can hold on a sec. You can all open your eyes. Thank you for that. I just want you all to breathe, relax, enjoy. I will not, well, I know final tribals can be stressful. But it does seem we're all pretty open. Just own your shit, do your thing. I'd sing to you even, but again, I want you to have a pleasant evening. So I won't be doing that. Looking forward to catching up with all of you afterwards, and best of luck. Chompy, do you have anything you want to say? Town, motherfuckers. Town. Alrighty, we out.
Love you, Megan.
Love you too. Bye.
All right, I love how quick you guys are going, but you guys can go a little bit longer. We have a night here. All right, next up is Mr. Ball of Energy and Fun, and how could you not love this guy? Come on in, Andy.
Aw, Jay likes me. What's up? All right, so I very intentionally wanted to hear some of the things that you were answering with some of the questions before I came up with my questions. The only question I really had that I came up with ahead of time is for Peyton. And so I'm very interested in knowing, Peyton, if you are willing to own that I was not coming for Dan and that you lied to him in order to make sure that I went out.
Okay, so you told me at that round that you were, this is if I remember correctly, you told me that round that you couldn't go for Dan this round because he had immunity, I believe. You wanted to go for one of the people close to him, and then probably go for him in either of the next couple rounds. You didn't want to be in the end with Dan. If I remember correctly. So technically, you didn't want to go for Dan at that point, but you didn't want to go to the end with him. So you still wanted to take Dan out either at the next couple rounds when he didn't have immunity.
Okay, that might be the way that you understood it, because Nikki and I had the same conversation of trying to vote separately from Dan, and so it wasn't necessarily voting somebody close to him. If I wanted to vote somebody close to Dan out, it would have been Nikki, and that was never on my radar. And so yeah, no, that's fine. That was the primary question I had coming in. This question is for everybody. I've heard a few people say about who they were scared of in the game and who they thought might win. Of anybody who isn't sitting in the final three, who do you think you would have certainly lost to?
I think for me, I think you and Ava. And I'm not trying to butter you up, but I was really trying to let us ride to the final four and battle it out from there. And then what happened. But yeah.
Okay. Nikki?
I would have lost to both of my daddies, Molly and Ava. So for sure.
Molly and Ava. Okay. Peyton, who are you thinking would have beaten you?
I think most of the people, I'd say definitely you, Ava, Kevin, even Molly. I think all of you were playing great games, and that's why we were big targets going on through this game. So I think that I would have lost to any of you if I would have been with you all in the end.
Okay. I have probably a couple more questions. One more for Dan. Dan, I'd love to hear your opinion of Boston Rob's game in Redemption Island, because that's who I would most compare you to this season. I felt like you had a fairly easy road and a fairly easy cast to work with.
I wouldn't say they were fairly easy. I would say that so in terms of Boston Rob's game time in RI, I agree. He had an easy route with a relatively easy cast around him, right? But I would actually say that in this particular game, I think you're right that I didn't have a lot of hard moments in this game because I was able to make people trust me and get information from all sides. And I don't think that's actually a bad thing. I think that's actually playing a great game. And getting information, from like when we were on our swap tribe, we had Yumi and Nikki as a 3. We had Yumi, I think, and Peyton as a 2. I think we had Yumi and Kevin, and then me, Peyton, Kevin.
What about me, you, and Zach? Yeah, we had that too. Anyway,
that's the thing. For me, there were so many alliances that I had or conversations that I had, but no one actually went and fact checked. And I took that as a risk to try to play more aggressively and to try to control the flow of information. And I think when we come back to the Molly vote, like that was me seeing things from multiple sides. And, yeah, I don't want to take much of your time. I can talk about it all day.
no, that's great. That's great. I appreciate it. And then another question for Nikki. Did you know about the second idol that Dan played at Final 5?
I did. Yeah, I knew. I think I was one of the first ones that knew about Dan's second idol.
And this question is for kind of all three of you in light of that. In light of Dan having that other idol, you therefore, at least 2 of you knew that meant Ava did not have an idol. What's the reason why you felt it was more important for me to go than Ava to go at 6?
So I actually didn't want you to go at 6. Sorry, Kevin, but I just can't math, right? So I was trying to make a 3-way tie, which is why I voted for Peyton, because I wanted me to be safe, Dan to be safe, and Peyton to be safe. And then the votes would go on you and Ava, the other ones. So then and then between a tie, me and Dan had discussed where we would throw our votes for a tie to make another tie for it to go to rocks, and then Kevin would go.
Okay.
But I'm
Yeah,
stupid and math is hard. That didn't happen. So I genuinely did not want you to go that round. Like I was a little bit shook, like, wait, what the fuck? And then I was like, oh my God, I forgot Peyton was voting the way that Peyton was.
Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah.
I did not want you to go. Like it served me no purpose for you to go at that round. And I wanted you to come along.
Yeah.
So I felt really shitty. Like I truly didn't want you to go.
It did serve me a purpose for you to go at that round, but I also wasn't going to vote for you because I was hearing things on multiple sides. I really wanted to draw a tie out and actually see where the votes would go so I know where I stood in the game. And we generally fucked that up. Like as Jay after the game, we got on a call and we're like, oh my God, we're fucking geniuses. We're making this tie happen. Like it was bizarre, but at that point I didn't know truly where you stood because of the information I received. So I was willing to let you go at that point, because if you're coming after me, that is like we're like 2 fucking boars coming at each other.
Yep.
Yeah,
that would be true. Peyton, you're the one that voted me, man. So why me instead of Ava? I'd love to hear it.
Andy, I love you. We were on the same tribe the whole game. I did say Ava would but I think you were also a big threat in this game, and I felt like at that point, it felt like it was the right move at that point to take you out instead of Ava. And I know there might have been some miscommunication what we said, and like a lot of confusion happened there, which I'm sorry that there's miscommunication along that way. And I just felt like with that, I felt like it was just easier to go for you instead of going for Ava.
I appreciate it, guys. I'm genuinely not upset about having gone out where I did at all, but I will have to say that I'm gonna have to listen to more answers because I'm pretty undecided. I think that all 3 of you have good cases, so I'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, and I'd also like to say when I talked to Peyton about what Peyton said to me and what I was hearing, Peyton ended up throwing his vote on you in that situation as well. Because I felt like I didn't know if you were coming after me or not, and if someone's coming after me, I think I've done a very good job of eliminating them in this game, which is like Kevin left, when he did as well. So
fair enough. All right, guys. See you in a bit.
All right, next up, thank you, Andy, for coming on. First of all, next up, I the bad luck bandits of the safety chains. I've been there, but multiple times. But anyway, I do have a message from our safety chain victim, Steven. He does not have any questions for you. He just wants me to read the statement. Congratulations, all three of you. Very well played. For me, it was a very close call for two of you voting for the best one who did whatever it took to get to the end. Peace sign emoji. Congrats again. And with that being said, let me pull up the jury chat. We will move on. All right, next up, we have our royalty. I don't know if they want me to call him a king, so I'm not going to, but we have our royalty who battled their way back in from Redemption Island. We have our battle back winner, Zach. Go ahead, Zach. Come on camera and ask your questions.
Okay. Hi guys. I have a question for all three of you first. I literally did get sick, but I didn't quit the game, but just like I was in the hospital. But would I have been the vote that night if I didn't? So that's my first question. Would I have been the vote?
I think
Anybody can answer.
Who won immunity that night? Sorry, if you can remind me.
I don't think anybody won immunity because I left at right before the immunity challenge.
Okay.
It
But
would
it
have
would have
been
been
Ava.
Ava.
Ava
would
or
have
you,
immunity.
honestly. At that point, we were trying to figure out, and by we, I mean us three in particular, and trying to figure out what is best for our game and where we can leverage support moving forward. And I don't know if that was after Touchy, and from my perspective personally, the answers that you gave didn't make me feel too good, and that made me feel like you weren't not necessarily aligned with me, or felt like I was a threat. And the conversations I've had with Nikki, Peyton, Andy at that point kind of trumped our friendship, and we're in a game and we have to get there. So I'm owning my shit, and I know it might be tough to hear, but I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, Yins guys didn't even Yins guys said that I didn't even deserve to be voted or get a vote at the final tribal council. So it's like Yins guys didn't realize how much I went through in battle back. Like I won 4 challenges in a row, and that's a huge accomplishment for me. But also, my other question is, okay, this is a Survivor Rent. What is your favorite Rent song and your favorite character of Rent? Go ahead. Anybody can answer.
My favorite overall Rent song, and if we're talking about the movie, I love Halloween and I love What You Own. And my favorite character is fucking Kevin. Or sorry, not Kevin. Sorry. Roger. Roger reminds me of Kevin. But because he knows he's got some fucked up shit he needs to deal with, and that's why he can't attach himself to Mimi quickly, but lets love infiltrate himself. And if you're close to me, you understand how important love is to me. I have a fucking love tattoo on my chest, and have let that happen with my wife. So, and she's behind me, so that's fine.
So my favorite song was Over the Moon because it was just so fucking silly. I just love it so much. I'll be very honest, I knew the concept of Rent, but I never watched it or saw the Broadway or anything like that. So just base knowledge of when I looked up the synopsis of it and the characters, I really like Mimi. And I also wanted to say, Zach, for me, that round that you left, you would not have been my choice for a vote, just FYI. I thought that you were still very useful for me in the game, that we still had some game to play together. So just
I
FYI.
hated being sick because I could have
I'm
probably.
sorry you got sick.
No, it's all right.
I also
Peyton,
just want to reiterate that it was between Ava and you, and probably Ava was the bigger threat for us at that point, right? But everything was being discussed. So
Yeah.
For me, I'll go with my music video song. I'll go with "Over the Moon," even though every time I listen to that song, try to do my video, like, what the heck am I listening
It's
to?
so corny, but
Yeah. And I'm sorry. I still need to. I know you sent me the video. I just never got a chance to see it, so I'm gonna be honest. I really can't give a favorite character from it because I'm still not. I still need to see it. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be completely honest there. I just don't have an answer for favorite character.
it's all right. So
Peyton and
that's
I had a call where Peyton was like, "Can you explain to me why Over the Moon is in this musical?"
it's so stupid, but
Yeah.
there's a metaphor, I guess. There's a metaphor.
I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it
Peyton.
now so I can see what
But that's all my questions. Good luck, guys.
Thanks, Zach.
Thanks, Zach. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you again, Zach. We do appreciate you. All right. And moving right along, we have our first victim of last night. Kevin, go ahead and take the floor away.
All right. Well, congrats to the three of you. First thing I'll say is, hey, I'm very happy that I am Dan's favorite Ren character. That means a lot to me, honestly. And you know that's a weight of my heart. That definitely might help a lot. But no, in all seriousness, also Peyton, Over the Moon is a metaphor for a fucking protest that Maureen does. It's a lot to get into, but that might help you a little bit. Anyway, all right. So you guys have pretty much gone over your games, I feel like, in a very in-depth manner. So I'm not going to ask you a lot of questions here. I think the main thing I want to know, just from the three of you, is that this is kind of how I see it. Dan, I kind of see you as like the mastermind of the season. You pulled off the majority of stuff. Everyone kind of knew what you were doing and things like that. So I feel like it'd be weird for me to ask you what your biggest move of the season was, because I feel like everyone kind of knows that. So I kind of want to hear from Nikki and Peyton. What do you guys think is your biggest move of the season that kind of got you sitting here?
So I feel like the way that I played, I don't think there was like one big flashy move. They were a bunch of little moves into where I just got to know people. So my biggest move, I guess, was just me being very social, like genuinely social, like just talking with people. So then I knew exactly where the votes were going. Even if I didn't hear my name directly from somebody, I knew that when my name was out there, that it was out there, and I felt comfortable and safe with the, alliance. But I feel like I was able to spread names with who I needed to ensure that whatever vote was supposed to be, it was, if that makes sense.
And
My
that
big move
definitely,
was supposed to be stealing Steven's thing that I didn't even get to play.
and that definitely worked out, because like, fuck, I kept talking to you so much at Final Six about how, I'm going to get Sareed, I'm going to be rocked out. And I was just laughing about it, only to know that was your plan in the first place.
I love you, Kevin. I'm so sorry.
Love you too. Go ahead. And yes, Dan, you can answer as well. I did see your thing.
Okay. Maybe it's not really the move, but I think the big moment for me was Final 5/Final 4. Like after the challenge happened and stuff, and like I remember Ava getting on a call with me saying, "You should join us and vote Nikki. No one's gonna beat her in the Final 4 challenge." I'm like, see, I get that and I understand that. But I decided, you know what, I'm just going to take my chances. And then that's why I ended up voting for you, Kevin. And then I will say at Final 4, I stepped up and I knew Ava and Nikki, and of course Dan too, are really good at comps. My comp record speaks for itself. It was absolutely horrible at the very end of the game. And big move, I think, for me was winning that Final 4 immunity challenge over to secure me, Dan, and Nikki a spot in the Final 3. So I think that would be my big move of the game.
Yeah, and what I would like to just add on, since you didn't ask me specifically what my biggest move of the game was, I think I instigated most of the moves of this game using my social game and the connections I had and the information I have. But what I would like to just add on is that, like, I played really fucking loyally in this game, and I usually get fucked by doing that, right? Someone like Nikki, someone like Peyton usually end up taking me out at some point. But I played super fucking loyal. Like Nikki, before the last vote, like her and I had like a 10-minute conversation begging each other not to vote each other out. Where I ended up, anytime I ended up not being loyal, it's because I thought it was a threat against me. And I played this game relatively cutthroat, but knowing where the information was, right? And I think that is a testament to the game that I played. Like Kevin, like we had that phone call and I literally got the call and called Peyton. I was like, Kevin's trying to get me out. Like, because I was pressing on you for information and for your thoughts and everything like that. But I think the same applies to, all of my reads in this game that I think were relatively correct. I mean, the one I might have been most wrong on is Stephen, Ava, and Molly having a 3. But, if that's wrong, tell me later. But I think it solidified me, Nikki, Peyton, and you as an alliance, right? And so that's really what I want to say. It's like I never took you out maliciously. I don't think I ever lied to anyone besides Molly about taking them out. And that was for strategic reasons as well. So
No, and I'll say you're 100% right about that. Like, I was never taking you to the end after the 2 rounds in a row that were so like dominant. I was like, I can't fucking beat him. So yeah, you were definitely correct about that. Okay, the only other question that I think I have is that, I like to look at games as kind of like crescendos. So there's a point where things are really high and things are going really great, but there's always going to be that low point in the game where things could have gone really wrong. And I want to hear from each of you what you think that point was and what you did to recover from it.
I mean, I know my answer, so I can go. But I think initially at the swap, yeah, we had a majority on swap if we want to like look at original tribe numbers. But at that point, like you and I, Kevin, had to actually make a decision. Do we want to stick with like Melissa and Rachel, who I absolutely love as people, but who weren't providing anything in the game, or take a leap of faith, so to speak, jump over the moon, but all right, I'm done. In terms of creating a new group, a new alliance, a new group of people who we wanted to stick with. And I mean, I guess I can actually link that back. That's probably my biggest move, is getting something going with you, Nikki, Andy, and Peyton, because that is what allowed me to be at the end, regardless of how it actually played out. We were loyal, right? And at the end of the game, it just comes down to who's getting their elbows deep in the dirt and then being able to pull it out, right?
So for me, I think game wise, it could have been a little tricky, as well as just for me when like the Jenny vote happened, because I was like really vibing with Jenny. I really like talking to Jenny. And then when Molly was voted out, I'm like, oh man, clear sides are being drawn. So if the other, I guess you want to call it side, wanted to try to take me out and tried to get numbers, that's when things could have really gone wrong for me. So just powering, forward and keeping, our side, comfortable, and, saying how much we needed to take other people out. I feel like that kind of helped move forward and, got me here. Just nurturing those relationships.
For me, it was probably the first 2 votes of the merge when both Jen and Megan went home, because it was like my original Pacini tribe, and like I was really strong with them on our first tribe before we had to swap. I liked that when I went into this merge, I had both my Chompy's Finest group, which was me, Megan, Jan, and Andy, but I also had the bipartisan committee, which was me, Andy, Dan, and Nikki. So like I felt it really good having those 2 groups, but like when I lost the 2 people, I started to worry, like, okay, I'm kind of not sure what's going to happen after that. But then I grew stronger with the Dan and Nikki at that point, and I felt like that's where the game started going back up again after that.
Okay, well, I think I got what I needed to from the three of you. Three of you should be so proud of yourself. There's a lot of things that all three of you did that I definitely did not see, so job well done. I thought I had my reads right for the most of you, but some of you, looking at you, Nikki, I did not. So very excited to see how this finale turns out. Like I said, congrats to you guys. You did what we couldn't do, and good luck.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks. Appreciate it, man.
All right. With that being said, we have one of my most adored people in life. I will say it's nothing against you guys, but she also did my favorite song, Lip Sync. So I may have watched it like 7 times. Ava, take it away, Queen.
Hey, Queen, fucking cheers.
Okay, one sec. Let me do this real quick because I was debating whether I should have it poured or not.
Y'all acting like I'm not having it poured.
Hey, bitches. Okay. Okay. So let's see here. I'm debating in what order I want to go in because honestly, like, my vote is definitely not made up at all. But like, what's said has been said. I listened to the speeches. I kind of feel like we should go out having some fun. So I'm first off going to say that Murphy and Chompy are going to ride in and destroy Final Tribal and just take the win themselves. That's actually the twist that's coming up. Just, yeah, painting that image in your head. Second off, and I'm going to thank Jenny for this question because I was like, I don't know what to do. So she got the ball rolling for me and it helped. I want each of you to name one fact about each juror that you learned, and you cannot repeat a fact that someone else has already said. So, one of you start.
Me first. All right. Well, Ava, I think what's just very interesting and what I like most about you is that you do drag, and I fucking love it. Kevin, he works at one of my favorite restaurants, Panera. Again, fuck Granny. She's a bitch. Andy, I'm trying to think of what fact. I love that you play like a million instruments, but that I don't want to use that fact because that was what you gave the fact for that challenge. I know that you're a pastor. I think that's so cool. Let me go down the list. Megan, you're a teacher, and I love that. Let's see. Steven, I'm so sad. Me and Steven didn't really connect. Fun fact is Steven warned me that I was going to get taken out by Dan, and I didn't. And fun fact about Jenny is that she's a server at one of my favorite restaurants, also Denny. The end.
Do you want to go, Peyton, or I can go?
You go ahead.
All right. With Andy, like I've learned so much about your family this season just through our conversations, you know, traveling from doing lighting and everything at the church to baseball games. Jenny, I was going to say the Denny's thing, but I'm also going to say it was called Danny's, but I also have met your husband and he is a sweetheart and he adores you so much. And I love that. Steven, like, I feel like Steven, like, just didn't talk much this game. You know what I mean? Like, I learned more about him in the comp last night than I did this whole game. Like, it was, you know, like, I know where he works and all that. But Ava, I feel like it's unfair for this question because we know each other so fucking well. But you ride buses. Put it that way. Kevin, I learned mainly about your affinity for movies, but I think we actually connected very well this game. Just getting to know each other, daily life shit, you know, Panera stuff, and how much you hate fucking bullshit customers. Megan, I also know you a decent amount, right? And I know your husband as well. But let's go with our affinity for buzzballs that I share with my close friends. Molly, I like I also knew you pretty well. Like, I don't know, we talked about work, we talked about how you got sick. I feel like we know a lot about each other. And with Zach, I mean, I don't know. I've played so many games, but I know you're from close to Harrisburg. I know you're in that town, or not town, that area. But I've learned a bit more about why like you have to go to the hospital and stuff like that. We've talked about that a bit. But at the end of the day, like, even though I feel like we all want to talk about friend Viber and shit like that, but like, I don't think I played that game like that. Like Steven went out talking about Peyton, like, and me hosting together. The only reason I'm working with Peyton is because he opened up with game information and I was like, I can trust this guy, right? Maybe that's what led to it. But at the same time with Nikki and I, like, I feel like it took me a while to trust Nikki 100%. Maybe in the past 4 votes, but I ended up putting my faith in her, and we reciprocated that. So if anyone wants to talk about friend Viber, it's a very good way to get your foot in the door with people. But I've never met Nikki before this, and like, she's probably my, like, no, I would say she's my F2 over you, Peyton, in the way that we've gotten to know each other, but we were able to get to this spot, right? Like, that's the thing, you have to balance multiple relationships, and I think I did a great job of that. So back to you, Eva.
Wait, I'm so sorry. Really quickly, I don't want to see the words forget. I was reading off the screen. I didn't say Zach or Molly. I suck. Zach, I thought it was really cool getting to know you a little bit more. I think it's really dope that you want to go to school to be an MA and then be an RN. And then Molly, I think it's really dope. And I'm going to use your fact that your favorite animal is a giraffe, because not too many people say that your favorite animal is a giraffe. Okay, the end.
All right. Well, I'll start out with Ava. I just love your personality, and I love, like we talked about. I know we kind of already said you're like talking about your job as a dragger and stuff. We just like talk about anything that's like easy to talk to, and I love that throughout this game. I wish I would have talked to you more, and I wish we would have met before merge and got a chance to talk more before that. Kevin, you're probably you in. I think I'm sorry. Just like your love of this game and like love for like movies, just amazing. I always love that. Just like easy person to talk to during the game, and I will always be thankful for you. Glad I got to meet you in this game with your first Facebook Survivor org. Andy, we have the Iowa connection. You're originally from Iowa. I loved you. Love talking to you. Like you help your kids with baseball and stuff. That is really cool, and I love to hear about that. Hope to talk with you more at the end of this. I guess going with baseball, I got Megan. I've known you for a while now, but like talking about our jobs and just talking about baseball. I know you're a huge fan of the Red Sox. We talk about that with me being a huge Braves fan. Always love talking baseball with you. One of my favorite people. Love Chompy as well. Jenny, also just great person. I love just like you're a fighter. I know you got a lot going on personally with you, but you keep going, and I give you a lot of credit for that. And one of my favorite people. Zach, definition of a fighter. I mean, winning the battle back and just coming, and you kept fighting hard. I always love that. Even though you're a Penn State fan who beat my Hawkeyes this past Saturday, I still respect you. Got a lot except for that, but love you. Molly, I've known you forever. We just another person we get up in the morning, talk about like having to go to work. After work, we talk about being tired, but I know you love these games as much as I do, and huge baseball fan as well. Love talking sports with you as well, and very thankful to get a chance to play with you in this game.
Woo!
I hope I didn't miss anybody.
I don't think so. Okay. Let's see. Next, my last question is important, but it's much more fun, so I'm gonna end on that one first. So this is rent related, but I think it's okay because you don't have to know everything about rent, Peyton. So I think you're good. Okay. In the rent universe, would you choose to live the far less safe but more bohemian life, or the more secure corporate life, and why?
I think you know my fucking answer to this. But as I get older, I think the people in Rent, the main characters, are not realistic, and I'll say that. Like, I feel like Benny was like, I'm trying to fucking help y'all, like give you housing, give you space to do your work, like, give you a fucking recording studio, give you a film bay, whatever it is, right? But I think it's also time dependent, right? Like when you're in your early 20s, it's like, I just want to be going out tonight. Another one. But I think that's very time dependent, right? Like, but like if you marry into a family with money, you're like looking at investments, you're looking at how can I help my friends. So I feel like I actually respect Benny throughout the whole movie, and especially for helping Mimi out when she was fucking going through her, her addiction issues as well. So
I feel like the bohemian, like far left, I feel like that's what I would prefer. It's just such a free lifestyle, and I just wish that I could live that, but I'm too much of like a control freak and like a planner. So I currently like living like the safe, more corporate kind of life, but like when I see those people that just live like that, like the van life people, I wish I was them.
Bro, that's like my stepsister.
you can be rich and have a van.
Well, she's not though, but anyway.
I mean, I'd probably say I prefer to live like the bohemian, but I feel like my life feels like it's always work and org, so I feel like I'm living more of the corporate life. But sometimes I like to go on the little bit of wild side. Like sometimes like do something crazy if I want to. But except for that, I'd probably rather live that life. But I feel like I live more the corporate simple life.
So we're realizing that the lesson of Rent is actually when you're an adult, Benny's right. Like, okay. So
when you're an
finally,
adult, you have to do adult things.
yeah, it sucks.
I
So
agree.
finally, because we're down to this, how would you get Murphy to vote for you?
I would give Murphy all the belly rubs and Tritos. Done. You do it, oh bellies.
It's hard to beat that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I make Murphy and Hoagie be best friends, because Murphy's bigger than Hoagie, but he's a fierce 8-pound dog.
I'd probably get him a bunch of treats and chew toys. I have a few stuffed animals. I could probably throw them at him. He'd probably enjoy them.
You know, that really might, he loves a squeaker. He loves something he can rip apart and be psychotic with. So
There we go.
I don't know. All right. Well, if it comes down to it, I don't know, guys. All right. That's it. You all played great. It really is a hard decision.
Love you.
I love playing with all of you. So looking forward to doing it.
We are ahead, so they gave lots of extra time, and I did thoroughly enjoy that, so I'm glad I did. All right, with that being said, you can give you a little lean here because some didn't take as long, but let's not make it 7 hours long. And I'm just gonna pull this back up for my reference. So with that being said, we're going by Peyton's list. So Nikki, you are up for closing statements.
So I just want to thank, number one, I want to thank everybody for showing up. I feel like that's like one of the biggest things for Final Tribal Council. I really think this was a great cast. Like it's hard, right, to get voted out and then to be like, all right, well, I wanted to win, but let's see who I guess I'll vote to win. So I thank you all for showing up, bringing some really good questions. I also just want to say thank you to everybody just for giving your time. I really enjoyed all of our conversations. But to kind of just reel it back, I feel like I've explained my game in so many ways, but I'll just do a quick little snippet. I always, tried to keep my line open. I always wanted to talk to people, get the scoop on who was with who was voting where. And then, just always having an ear to the ground. I stayed up to date on all the plans. I helped initiate the plans. I helped spread the word to who needed to, be included in the vote. But I just had a lot of fun, right? Even if you don't vote me, I get it. But I just had a lot of fun, and I just really fucking loved talking to all of you. So that's it. I love y'all.
All right, and thank you, Nikki. With that being said, Dan, you are up.
Yeah. So no, once again, I appreciate y'all's questions. I feel like at the end of the day, there's no true bad blood with me and hopefully anyone on the jury. But at this point, we're voting for a game. I know it was a bit like loopy last night when I sent my final tribal in, and if you hear my dog, I'm sorry. But is loopy, but
Real quick, sorry to cut you off. Andy, yeah.
what's up, Jay?
Sorry to cut you off. Andy, could you just, yeah, there we go. Sorry, Andy was there and wanted to affect your speech, so.
You're good. At any times when I made moves, I made them in order to pull my game forward. I think at every single point in this game, I knew what was going on. I knew where alliances were, where votes were heading. Even things I didn't tell Nikki and Peyton or Andy, who were my core four, and Kevin, you were right on the edge, but I knew you were a competitor. I leveraged that to keep my people as safe as they could be. And we had the possibility of taking out Nikki, who is a fantastic competitor in this game, last night. But I also stayed loyal to the people who stayed loyal to me. And to me, that's what matters so much in a game. And besides the Molly vote, I fucking hate my dog. Besides the Molly vote, I never really lied to anyone about where my vote was going. And the only vote I had against me in the game was Ava last night, who, the narrative I drove, it was her or I, and she was pushing my name, and Nikki and Peyton, I was able to keep with me socially and through true fucking bonds to the end of this game. So, really, I knew everything. I feel like I drove a lot of the game, and I don't mean to sound cocky about that, but I feel like I was the one spreading information between Nikki and Andy and Peyton and Kevin, and balancing that. And I think that is definitely worthy of a win. As much as I love the fellow people who are here at Final Three, I feel like I did enough to be able to run this game. Even when Jenny was voted out, I called Jenny and Megan that night and was like, is there anything we can fucking do? Because I would have preferred that over Jenny leaving, because I actually wanted to work with you, Jenny, so fucking much. And we could have just blindsided you. With the Andy vote, Nikki explained it. We fucked up mentally that night. But I think I also explained why I would have been okay with you going that night. Like, I wanted it to be between you and Kevin, and maybe a tie, maybe rocks, right? Because I had my idol. I think Nikki was immune. And Peyton came into the game during swap, and basically we were able to form that connection and, have that data transfer. So I feel like I'm at the end of my time, but I feel like I played a game that is worthy of a win. So thank you all. I really hope that, I can get your vote tonight. Appreciate y'all.
All right.
All right. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
Jay.
Yeah, sorry, I like my little intros and my camera cameos, but all right, Peyton, go ahead and close it out for the night.
All right. Well, thank you. Well, that's going to be hard to beat there, but I want to thanks again the host for hosting this amazing season. Even though I came in pretty much last second, not knowing a single thing about rent, but I get to sit here. I want to thank the jury for these amazing questions you gave us tonight and really having us go at it. So really appreciate that. Yeah, I didn't play. I will say I did not play like the flashy game. I did not. I was pretty much like I felt like I was under the radar for most of it. I felt like I was on, like I had two sides going into merge. I felt like for most of the game with being on those two sides, I felt like I was never really the target. And I did get 2 votes this whole game, which were negated by my idol in final 6. And the votes were from 2 people who knew I had the idol. So I mean, so technically I had no votes technically against me all season. So I think that's something I'm really proud of. I usually can't make it this far without having a single vote really counting against me. So I'll take that proud. And if I don't get any votes, if I don't win tonight, I'm okay. But I just want to say that I don't know. I just gave everything I had in this game, and whatever happens, happens. Thanks again for having me, and may the best person win.
All right. You guys can breathe now. The hard part is over. We will try to get the jury in here as fast as we can. Might try to do StreamYard just because I can see your faces as you end the votes. I'm gonna see if I can figure that out. But with that being said, you guys can relax now. The power is gonna shift to the jury. They're gonna go and vote, and I will let you guys know when we have all the votes. For now, you go ahead and leave. And Facebook, we'll see you back as soon as we can with the votes.